So this is going to be a refresher video on multiplying fractions and putting them in the lowest terms. So if we just have a fraction multiplied by a fraction, all we do is we multiply across and we multiply across. So 5 times 4 gives us 20. 8 times 3 gives us 24. And that would be the answer, but we want to put that in lowest terms. So we're going to take 20 and 24, and we notice that both of those numbers can be divided by 2. So that's what we're going to do to simplify. We're going to say 20 divided by 2 gives me 10. 24 divided by 2 gives me 12. So now I'm at 10/12, my simplified version, but I can simplify more than that because 10 and 12 can both still be divided by 2. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So my final, most simplified form is 5/6 because there's no number that goes into 5 and also into 6. So that's my answer there. Sometimes you might need to multiply a mixed number by a mixed number. And the best way to do that is to turn both of our mixed numbers into improper fractions. So here we've got 3 and 1/5. And to do this, I first look at what kind of fraction I have. Here I've got fifths. So I'm going to think, how many fifths are in 3? Well, I know that there are 5 fifths in 5. Or not in 5, I'm sorry, 5 fifths in 1. And in order to think of the number of fifths in 3, I'm just going to write 3 ones. 5 fifths, 5 fifths, 5 fifths gives me 15 fifths altogether. Let me see if I can move this down. So these added together is 15 fifths plus this 1/5 I have here gives me 16 fifths as an improper fraction. Same thing with 2 and 3/4. I see that I'm working with fourths. So I say, all right, so 2 is 8/4 because I've got 4/4 in one whole plus 4/4 in another whole. Then I've got that 3/4 on the end. So really I've got 4/4 plus 4/4 plus 3/4. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. My improper fraction here is 11/4. So then all I need to do is I need to multiply 16 fifths times 11/4. So let me come down here. 16 fifths times 11/4. And so we've got 16 times 11. And if you're not sure how to do this by hand, you could use the algorithm or you could use a trick. I know 16 times 10 really easily. 16 times 10 is 160. Then I just need to add one more set of 16 on there to get 176. On the bottom, I've got 5 times 4, which is 20. So I'm going to put 20 there. And again, I want to put this in lowest terms. So 176 over 20. I notice that both of those can be divided by 2. So I'm going to do that. Divide both by 2. And I get 176 divided by 2. Let me think. Well, I know that 100 divided by 2 is 50. I know that 70 divided by 2 is 35. And I know 6 divided by 2 is 3. So if I add up 50 and 35 and 3, I should be able to get half. So 50 and 35 is 85. 85 plus 3 is 88. So this is actually 88 over 20 divided by 2, which is 10. Right, so 88 over 10, we can simplify that even more. And you probably see when you divide by 10 right away, you're saying, oh, that's 8.8, because 88 divided by 10 is 8.8, which is true. We can use that to write our mixed number, 8 and 8/10, because it's 8.8. We can make that one step further, though. We can keep the 8 for our mixed number, but 8 and 10 are both divisible by 2. So we're going to take 8 divided by 2, that gives us 4, and 10 divided by 2 gives us 5. So if we wanted to go all the way to the end with this, our answer would be 8 and 4/5. That's in a mixed number form as lowest terms as I can get.